can. Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone again. So I wanted to start today's meeting with a couple of questions. First question is, do we need to meet twice every week now, since you guys are busy with your college and some people have jobs as well as college and school, some people have school and other stuff going on. So do you guys think that we should be meeting twice still, or should we meet only once a week? And whatever side you guys take, you guys also want to say, I would like to hear why. Why do you guys think like that? So I'm gonna start with Asad. I think Asad, I know you are too. I think maybe I skip you. I'll ask you in the end. Maybe start with Wahaj. Wahaj, what do you think? Should we meet twice or one is fine?
I think twice right now is working out all right. Maybe later in the year might get tough, but I'll try to make it twice. Twice is good enough. I think for me, it's the limit.
How about Afif? What do you think?
I honestly don't think we need to meet multiple times. I think one time would be good enough. If there's any issues we come across, we can use the channel, like WhatsApp group chat. And then if anything, like we have to have any individual meetings, we can just have those in the middle of the week. I think it will have bigger updates and it'll be a lot easier, especially because you mentioned we won't have as many like guest speakers over on Saturdays and Sundays. So we can have bigger Scrum updates then.
Okay. I think that's a good point. Hamza, what do you think?
I also think one meeting a week will be a little more beneficial right now. As you said, people have jobs and schools and everything going on, especially I think Wahaj and Saban are just starting out, so they might pick it up. For me personally, my updates haven't been as big anymore that I really need 2 meetings to update what I'm doing. So I think one meeting where I'll be able to update a lot more than all these small updates that I'm really doing.
Okay, Sister Tanya.
Yeah, I think one meeting is good. I mean, I think it's good for me too. So I agree with all the points, you said.
All right. Subhan, what do you say?
I think one meeting is good too, but it depends on like how much work we are completing in that 1 week. But if we're able to add the Scrum, like the Scrum and what topic we're covering in the one whole meeting, I think it's fine. But also I think, yeah, like me, Wahaj, once we figure out our like schedules, it'll fit in much better with everything else.
Okay, makes sense. I think I'm gonna say that Asad, I'm not asking you because you can meet every one of us multiple times. That's fine. If anyone has time, he can give you, because we want to get you up to speed. So I don't think we need to hear from you because you are just getting started. But do you have any concern with meeting once?
No, I don't really have any concerns with meeting once.
Okay, because we would like you to work with Afif and Sister Tanya for now, and maybe with Subhan also. But if you need to meet with these people, I think they will be able to help you as well. So the reason I am discussing this today is because I feel that I don't want to also put too much pressure on you guys, because you guys have other things going on as well. And at the same time, I want some progress in this project also. So the midweek meeting was mostly because we had more updates and because we were starting the application, and it used to make more sense. I was also feeling that for last couple of weeks, unfortunately, we had slowed down. I'm not saying maybe Sister Tanya, you and Afif are still making progress, but the others, I feel they have slowed down. And I want people to understand that this is not a class, this is a project. And we want to make sure that we keep writing code. And like I said in the last meeting also, that even if you guys write like 10 lines of a code or 20 lines of a code every week, that still will give you a lot, because you are reading the code first and then you are writing a little bit more code, making changes that just keep you going. But if you guys are not writing the code at all during the week, that's not what I want. So I don't want to hear too many updates. I want to see some progress. And whatever time you guys get, I want you guys to, whatever time you guys can give to this project, I want that time given in the form of the code. And I want some more progress and quicker progress than what we are doing. And I don't blame you guys for last couple of weeks, because we had some guest speakers coming in and those topics were a little bit more complicated. So we are also going to balance that out also, that we're not going to cover more complicated topics. I think we have kind of learned enough to build an application. So that's, I think I agree with most of you guys, and I think most of you are on the same, you guys are thinking on the similar lines, that we really don't need to meet twice. And if anyone need to meet with me or any other team member, and if the time matches, I also sometimes, not always, can meet. At times I also get busy and don't find time between my office and home and my other kids and all that stuff. So it's sometimes it's difficult to balance. So, but I try my best. Whenever you guys need help, I can come in and see if I can help. So let's do at least this week. We will, next following week, the meeting will not have a scrum, midweek scrum. We will have a next Sunday meeting now. So the other question, second question was, is this time and day work better for you? Since we're going to have one meeting, is this the best day and time? Do you guys think we should have a different time than what we are, or different day? Or this, I mean, we can also, so let me ask, does 8 p.m. Sunday work better? Because now we are also going to have soon daylight savings also going to end. So 8 is going to be pretty late. So does it make sense that we go at 8 p.m.? Or even if you guys are interested in even a little bit earlier, I'm fine. But because a lot of time you guys are going back to college and some people have things going on. So I'm thinking that 8 p.m. is still reasonably late and early enough before you can go to sleep. What do you guys think?
I think 8 p.m. would be a good time Sunday. 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. It's up to everybody, but around that time.
Okay, anyone who says that this is not a good time, 8 p.m. Maybe I hear like that. Okay, so I think everyone seems to think that 8 p.m. Is a good time. We would like to keep it between 8 to 9. Sometimes we do go beyond, but our goal is to keep it between 8 to 9. We all need to learn that we can't say, oh, we have more topic and the topic got longer. We need to learn to be within that time frame, because in offices, when we are in meetings, when you are over time, that's not considered good, because you did not plan your topic very well, or you could not finish it in time. So our goal has to be stay between the time, and that way you guys are also, if you have another commitment at 9 p.m., you can easily go. You don't have to just stick around to finish the topic. Okay, good. So okay, so we will have one meeting now from next week, and that will be at 8 p.m. on Sunday. Okay, good. So, okay, next thing is I would like to hear if you guys have questions for me, or you guys are making your progress fine. So I think maybe not, you don't, I know that there hasn't been much progress, because I can keep an eye on you guys in some one way or the other. But if you guys have anything to share, just quickly, maybe take 1 or 2 minutes and do that. How about Wahaj? Let me start with you.
Yeah, I was doing the React hooks for the page, and I encountered an error. Like I was trying to fix the error from yesterday, couldn't fix it. So I still have the error, but it might take some time. I'm just letting you know that I have the error.
Okay, so it would be maybe helpful because we have seen Sister Tanya solving some problems and some other folks like Rafe. So you may want to share it in that error in the WhatsApp group. That may help, and or maybe I'll be able to help as well. So yeah, it would make sense. I think every time you guys hit this kind of a issue where you guys are not able to make progress, it makes a lot of sense to just share it in the group. Okay, so next is Afif. How are you doing, Afif?
Yeah, so I think we're doing well so far. I do have some updates to show off. We have a presentation, Essas and I were working on it, about how we're planning on designing this registration page. Here, let me share screen for this.
And
Alright.
while he's sharing the screen, what's it called? When we get on my slide, me and Afif know, then I'll just ask a question to you. But yeah, Afif can go on.
Yeah, so what we were thinking about internal and external events is something like this. Of course, the font sizes, the fonts, and all the stuff will be very different, like matching the similar style of the form. But it'll be a radio button. For
Yep.
example, if you select internal on the administrator, the admin can create the form. And if they select internal, they can just select internal and it won't really do anything. And the internal registration, we really couldn't think of too many fields to have on there. Like, for example, last time you mentioned having the member independence, which is already here, the transaction fee, which is also already there, your balance, which is already there, the event title. The only thing that we haven't got on there, which I remember you mentioning, was the registration status. But that would usually be updated like outside. It wouldn't be in your registration form.
That's fine. But when will you, at some point, you will not show that status? Or when will you show that?
I was thinking maybe the homepage could be a reasonable option. For example, your registrations for each activity, like maybe it could add a column or two just for like for this activity, your registration status. Because returning back to the registration page just to see your registration status might be a little bit like.
Yeah, good point. So how about the registration date?
Registration date would be done as soon as you click the register button and updated when you get approved for the registration. Maybe we could also include that on the like the standard member page, the home page, when the member sees themselves and their dependents.
Oh, I see. So you don't want to show it on this page? Is that what you're saying?
We could have it show on this page, but this page in particular, the one where you click register now after like clicking an event, I'll show this one like right here. When you click register now, it takes you to a page like this. If this is an internal event, really all you're doing is selecting who you want to enter the event, and then you click confirm and it'll take you to the payments page and you can make your payment.
I see. So, but you will store the registration, but not just show it here. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Store the registration date, but you will not show it on this page. Yeah, that's fine. And then also, would you also put a registered by or something? Who's the one who registered it? I mean, that information.
Wouldn't that usually be done by the member themselves? So then,
yeah, most of the times it is true. Most of the times it is the registration will be done by the members, but in situations where the admin is doing the registration for someone else. I mean, let me think about it. So would we want to support that? So what if the member is not able to register for some reason? Yeah, I think that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. We'll worry about it later. If
the member isn't able to register, there's always the contact email. Like for example, yeah, right here, they can click that. They'll be able to send an email. They can get help for registration, and the admin should be able to manually just add that person to the registration.
Yeah. So how would that admin add it? Because you have to have an admin page to do that, right?
Right.
So are you planning to have a separate admin page for this kind of stuff?
We might need to do that, but there will have to be a way where the admin can access like all the registrants and then like any pending requests or something like that and manually add. It might be sort of like the members page, how you can add a member, you can have your members table and like showing all that, but instead of having the columns of the data, you just show the member, their dependents, and then you have their registration status, registration by, and their date where they registered.
Yeah.
And then they can also add, sort of how there was an add member button on Hamza's design. You can also add a pending, like add manually someone who's registered.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. So, and then I think for now, this is fine. Then you will later on work with maybe Rafe to integrate the payment system also, right?
Yeah, and then externally, if you choose the external on the radio button, it'll open up a external website URL, which then you can enter in a URL, and then instead, when you click register now, it'll just take you to the external site. And I was thinking for the tags, for example, like you know how there's the tags on the main page. I don't think I have a screenshot of that. Yeah, I don't think I have a screenshot of that. But like the tags that will show on the event, one of those could probably be internal or external. Just so that it can indicate, or we can have a different page. I'm really conflicting on which one we should do, like the one you suggested.
We said no. So yeah, no, on this page, I'm not concerned about internal or external event. I'm worried on the other page where you're showing the events, because there will be too many. External will be too many, I think.
Mhm.
That's where in this page they can be equally, they can look same. I have no problem with that. And
Yeah.
then you can just have maybe like you're saying, maybe a radio, but maybe some indicator that this is an internal or external. But my concern is the page before that, where you're showing all the activities, because there will be too many if we put both internal and external in one place.
So can we maybe like we have the menu tab on the top. So when you're on the activities and event page, maybe we can have like a small mini menu which can help you filter between outside activities and inner activities.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the way to do it.
At the home page, like we can also have like the drop down showing the activities like external or internal.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, instead of combining together. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going with, but I think you guys got it right. So yeah, that would be way to go. Having a sub menu like Asad is saying, that's probably one way to do it. Okay, great. Anything else if you want to go over?
No, I don't think so. That's pretty much what we've got. And we also explained to us all about the external events, about the code and everything, and we should be able to get something set up.
Okay. Sister Tanya, you want to add something?
Actually, I just watched the video which you sent me. I just for the service account, I mean, it looks simpler, but I mean, you have to create the credentials first and give it to me before I can try to, work on it.
I think I might have, I'll look at it. I think I might have created those. I think I have that file. I'll send you. I think let me send you now.
Okay, sure.
Show in the folder.
So what is the purpose? I still don't get it. Like why you want to switch to the service account?
Because I think with this method, you don't have to give permission to every user to use. That's the only reason that's the only thing which I was not liking it about.
No, but the service account, I was reading that in service account, the users cannot interact with the drive.
Yeah, so user don't have to, because service account is a fake account kind of a thing, which does everything for you, for every user. So that's what it is, really.
It's basically the application that can access and can save it. But if the user wants to add the profile image or something and upload something, so it will.
So behind the scene, we will control it. Our app will control to make sure even if the user is attaching it, we are storing it in our Google Drive. And when we're retrieving it, we are retrieving it because the individual user is not storing in his own Google Drive. He's storing it in our central Google Drive. That's why. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. So let me see if I can send you right now. I started working on it, but then I was like, I said maybe I'll have you take a peek at it. So I shared it in the group. Oh,
where did you share?
Wrong place. Sorry, he's going to. Okay, let's see now again.
So are you sharing on the WhatsApp or in the chat here?
Yeah, I'm sharing in the WhatsApp group, same place. You guys got it, right?
Let me check.
But in case if
Yeah,
you don't
got
answer,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, to try that. It's a learning experience for all of us. So even if I mean the OAuth option, the only thing is because I like you said, I published it also. So yours was in testing. I actually published it. So still it was not working for any user, including my user also. So that was strange. But I think you made it work once. But I never made it to work even once. Every time I get is the file ID is always undefined.
Oh, really? I mean, I don't know, because for the testing, I even don't need to refresh my token. It is available for 7 days, so I can use it for 7 days, and then probably it will expire.
And maybe there is something which is not right in my setup. So probably, so I didn't do that much effort on that. But then I was reading about the service account, so I was thinking maybe that is possibly simpler for us to do. So I mean, I again will trust on your research, whatever you come up, because I normally don't do this kind of stuff. So do your research, and if you find that we can make the multiple user work using the OAuth, I'm fine with that option also. But I feel that this may be easier option, because then you are not dealing with the users. You are just dealing with the kind of a internal user, which is no one can sign in, and that's the user purpose is only to deal with the attachments on the Google Drive.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Subhan, do you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So for mine, I'm still working on the volunteer page. Sorry, I'm in like a study room. There's like people talking. So
Okay, that's okay. But Subhan, you need to get started on that. I haven't seen much from you on that. So I mean, it is not that different from the payment stuff. It's actually simpler because there is no payment involved in that. So
yeah.
all you have to do is copy the REST API for the payments, and just make the fields whichever. But I think first thing first, you need to write all that in the conference page, like Afif and Asad are doing. So you put that in the conference page, and see what fields you need, because before you work on it as a coding, it's better that you design it. Otherwise, you will keep going back and forth that what fields I need. So come up with the screen, how the screen should look like, what are the fields that need to be shown on the page. And once you are once you finalize the design, then you go back and design your REST API and create your React page.
All right.
Does it
So
make
just
sense?
to like make sure is that the volunteer page is going to be users from MHMA users who are wanting to sign up for volunteer events in the.
That's right. Yeah. So basically, initially, what we want is that we have to have so it will again drive from the member page, right? So from the membership page, you can click a button to sign up for the volunteer. And once you are in as a volunteer, then you will select what activity you want and how many hours and the start time and end time and all that kind of stuff. So basically what I want is that you create this flow in the conference page, and then we can review with you, and then you can also get started on the REST API like I told you.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to spend some time. I know you guys are busy and you guys are figuring out, trying to understand the college stuff, and that's totally fine. But try to give it some time, because if you guys don't do it, like I said earlier, or many times I'm repeating myself again, that this is not a class. This is a project. If you treat it as a project, only then we will learn out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, so there are a couple of things which I have in mind to cover today. So one of the things which I noticed, which I should probably share with you guys, is that how do we how do we debug the backend code? So we already have gone through one of the session, which was on a Chrome. And that's Chrome has the great debugger, and then we can, do so many things with the Chrome. And I think if you guys are working on the front end, it would probably help you guys a lot if you guys go back and watch that training of the Chrome. We showed you how to put a breakpoint and how to print values and all that kind of stuff. And the debugger shows you all kind of information about stepping in and stepping out and jumping, and all that stuff is great in the Chrome. But the limitation, not a limitation because it's on the browser, so you can only only debug the front end code on the browser, because browser is only rendering the front end part. Browser doesn't know about the server, so that's why you cannot really debug the code on the server code on the debugger of Chrome. So for that, there are ways to do it. Normally, the way which is done is inside the Visual Studio Code, you can do that. So normally when we are running our project, let me see if I'm not running in some other place. So the way we run is we say npm run dev. So that's how we are running our project, right?
Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, I'm not? Okay, let's see. Sorry, thank you. All right, so basically what I did just now while I was talking and not sharing, I just ran this command npm run dev in the Visual Studio Code. You guys see my screen fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically what this does, npm run dev does is that it runs our package.json server as well as the client. So when we say npm run dev, think dev is more like a profile in our package.json. And inside the dev, we would have defined that go and run the server and go and run the client. So if you notice when we say that npm run, it will run the server and then do a cd to the client and start the client also. So instead of doing this way, we can also let me move this a little bit on the side. Okay. So we can also do a debugger here. And when we say run and start debugging, it will ask you to pick the process, that which process you want to. So if you notice, there will be multiple processes which will show up here. So, sorry. Okay, so again, let's do it again. Stuff right now. Okay, so I'm going to stop this server because I don't want to start everything. Let's say I run now. If I say start debugging, and if I click, right now it is trying to search if there is a node process that is running. There's actually no node process here. Can you guys also try the same thing on your Visual Studio Code and see if you guys see something here? So like in my case right now, it is not showing anything. So if I say, npm run server. I don't even have to do that. I could just say npm start is also fine, but I'm just following the statement. So if I start the npm run server, the server will only thing it will start will be the server. It won't start the application, the browser application. Does that make sense? And again, let me ask you again, we'll go back. I think maybe I'm confusing you guys a little bit today. So our application, like we have discussed before, has two sides of things, the front-end application and the back-end application. The front-end application is all the code which we have is like a member added.jsx. And then there are some other like members.jsx. So these are our, or you can, like you guys have a payments.jsx. These are all front-end code. This code runs on the browser. Whereas there is some code that does not run on the browser, that runs on the Node server. And that code is our code for the REST APIs. So for example, if we want to say, if the REST API is not working correctly for us, or if we are not able to make it work properly and it is not giving us what we expect, so in that case, we have to go and put some breakpoints in the debugger, which is this debugger I'm talking about. So that's the problem I'm trying to solve. So my problem is that I have some backend code and I want to see why I'm not getting the results which I am expecting. So in order for me to do that, I can use Visual Studio Code, and it has also a very good debugger where I can attach my Visual Studio Code to my Node server, and then I can put the breakpoints in my REST APIs also. So let me find where are my REST APIs. So my REST APIs are under routes. Where are the routes? Yeah, right here. So I can go in here in the attachment.js, in the members.js, and I want to see what is it I get when I call this function. So I just want to see what is it shows up in the member. Or if I want to instead, maybe I want to look at what's here. So I put a breakpoint here. Which is that whenever the REST API is called, what happened. So again, let's go again. I go and say start debugging. And here it will go and find if there is a process that is running. So this is our process Node server. We see that. And this will only work. This debugging will only work if you start the server from here, from within the terminal of the Visual Studio Code. If you start it from the outside terminal, it will not work. Does that make sense so far?
Yes, that makes sense so far.
Subhan, Afif, everyone, you guys following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. So what I need to do is, so once I say start debugging, it will ask me to pick which process you want to debug. So I'll put up this one. So you will see that it will say the debugger is attached. So now when I'll make a REST request, and that REST request can come from either the postman or it can come from the application. But the thing that for you guys to keep in mind is that when I did say that npm run server, I only start the server. So your app is not running yet. So in order for me to be able to run the app as well, the front end also, so I will have to go inside the terminal, and let me move the terminal on this side. I'll have to go inside the terminal and let's see where I am. So where is my project? Masjid admin CD client. So inside the client, I can go and say npm start or yarn start, whatever. Sorry, npm start. So now my server started from within the terminal or within the terminal of the VS Code, whereas my front end, my browser's or the React session is starting in a separate window in the terminal. I cannot start it here because there is already a process that is running and it is not showing me the prompt because it is running in the front end. So basically, it has started my front end now. So let me bring this page on this side as well. And this is something you guys should understand very well what we're talking about because it's important. This is also teaching us what is when we are running our application, what are all the components of our application. So for example, if we say members, so when I click the members, it might have hit our breakpoint already. Yeah, you see that it has stopped here. So our breakpoint was on line number 13. So when I click the members, it's going to go and access all the members. So it is going to hit our get. So it is going to access all the members. So just keep in mind that today's topic is not that big, but it is very important that we all understand that. Our application has two main components. We have been so far focused on the front end component where we have been building our pages and adding fields and stuff. And we have been debugging using the Chrome debugger. But there is another side of our application, another component of application, which is called the server component. And the server component, the way we use the server component is using the REST APIs. REST API is a bridge between the front end and the back end. So whenever we are making a REST service call, which is this call, the router call, so this will always go through the get for all the members. So when I click on the members page, when I click on the members, it makes the REST request to get all the members. So if I want to move to the next statement, want to see what happens after that, I can say, click this one, run step over. So it will step over. So you guys, I think if you guys are not familiar, I can go over these buttons quickly also. So this button means continue, that you want to just let the program go, because whenever we hit the breakpoint, we pause on that statement, wherever we have a breakpoint. If I want to go and skip everything and let it go, continue the execution, we want to click this button, not skip, continue the execution. This is a step over button, which means that if I want to go to the next statement in the code, I will click the step over. The next one is a step in. The difference between the step over and step in is very interesting, and you guys should understand what is that. So step over is that you just want the next statement to execute completely. And that statement can be a simple statement, or that statement can be a very complicated function. You guys know that we can call a very complicated functions here, like here in this case, when I say step over, it just went over all these functions and get to the next statement, which is 18. So step over means that we want to go to the next available statement in that function. Whereas step in, if this is a big function and I want to go inside that function, I will use the step in function. This is the step in, the down arrow. And if I want to get out of an existing function or the function where I stepped in, then we will use the step out function here. Which one? This arrow, the up arrow. So there is a step over, step in, and step out. There is a subtle difference between these. So we all want to make sure that this is a refresh. We normally don't use it because refresh, normally we use it when we're changing the code and just refreshing the debugger. Normally we don't do that. Whenever we change the code, we probably want to restart. And then one is if I want to disconnect to the debugger. So these are some important buttons which we all need to keep in mind what they are. Are you guys with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So the benefit of doing all this, why I'm debugging. I want to debug it because I want to see why my code is not working as expected. And how could I know that why it is not working? By peeking into what's going in the code. So if I come and hover over members, it will show me all the data in the members. So I can hover over members and I can go here, expand it, and I can expand it wherever way I want to do, right? So I have access to the whole information. So for example, if the REST API is not returning the data as expected, I want to see if the members data is populating. And if members data is populating, is not populating, why it is not populating? Is it an error I'm getting? Or instead of, sometimes there is no error. And for example, instead there are, let's say 13 members, but we are getting only 2 of them. So that's also sometimes an issue. So we need to, so basically the purpose of debugger is you go inside and inspect the different state of the data. So after this statement, there is a state of every of the data changes, because before I get to this line, the members data was not populated. So only when I get here, the members data will be populated. And then I'm returning the response in this statement. I can also go and click on the response or hover on the response and see what's in the response. And if something fails here, it will get you to the 500 status. So we are not hitting that. So basically we can say that I want to continue. So if I say step over, I'll get to next statement. And then, so if I keep stepping over, it will keep taking me into the React internal code. So, and that code has nothing to do with us. So we cannot debug that. So basically we are now out of this function. So again, let me do it again so that let's go to the page. Yeah, so you see that it has gone through that and it is printing the data that we need. Are you guys with me? Is this make sense? Okay, good. So all I did is I would like you guys to do the same thing. So if, for example, are you guys able to open the Visual Studio Code and run the npm run server, or
so you want us to run the website through the Visual Studio terminal?
I would like you guys to do that, and don't have to do it now. You guys can do it later, but I would like you guys to be able to put a breakpoint on the members place where I showed you guys, and be able to do that and be able to stop and pause. And this will help you guys certainly when you will be writing a lot of backend side of code and be able to debug it.
So I was wondering if you can quickly go over how we can end the current project we're running so that we could restart it.
Oh, all you have to do is you do a Control-C wherever you started that. So if you are in a terminal session, for example, let's see.
Yeah, so I think this project, the website started on my PC, I think yesterday or something. But then I did it through the terminal program on Windows, and then I closed that program. So now when I open terminal back, I do Control-C. It doesn't, it's not terminating the project.
So you think maybe in the background, it's running in the background? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I have the tab open on Chrome, but I closed the terminal.
Yeah. So if you are, let's say if you are in a terminal, for example, like here, you can do a control C and it will end, right? But if
Yeah.
you already have closed from here, that's not something I would advise. I think the best option for you is to restart your computer, because it is
Okay.
a process that is running somewhere. And there are ways to deal with that. And I wanted to cover some of that stuff, and let's get to that. Are you guys okay with me spending another 15-20 minutes on the Unix and Linux stuff? Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would like to share this link with every one of you guys. I'll probably put it in here. I saw this look nicer, so I said maybe I cover that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a terminal window right here and go through whatever is over here. I haven't planned any conference page or anything or created. I might do that because it will come handy later on. So let's see what is it. So like I told you guys earlier that Mac also has a free BSD system. So it's very similar to Linux or Unix. It's a similar implementation like Linux. So if you guys have Mac, then it is great. But if you don't have Mac, you might have to install, there are ways around it on the Windows side. But what I will send you guys is a link to create a virtual box of the Oracle. VirtualBox is Oracle product. So I think I have a link. You guys can install the VirtualBox with a VM on your Windows or Mac computer. You guys try it yourself. And if you guys hit a roadblock, you guys can always ask me. So I'm sharing this link as well. This link will also help us in our future meetings as well, because we want to cover the Oracle database and SQL. So this has everything that you need. So basically you can install the VirtualBox, and you can also install Oracle session of a VM, which is a Linux based, and it also has the Oracle database installed. So I would like you guys to try this on your own. Even if you have a Windows or Mac, it doesn't matter, but it will be handy for us to do that. I think you might have to create an Oracle account, but that's a free account you guys can always create. And this should not be that hard to do. So if you guys find some time, that is a good thing to or a good experience to have. Okay, let's get back to not this one. This one. All right. Okay, no. Maybe I click. Okay, right here. So here, first command, ls. When you do ls, it shows you all the files in the current directory, right? So that's what it does. It shows. So on the Windows side, what you guys do, or the Mac side, you go on the folder and you double click it and it just shows the list. On the Linux or on the Mac, also in the terminal, if you want to see what are the files in my current folder, that's how you do it. And then if you want to see in more detailed information, you say ls-l. It will show you the files with more information with this. What is the date of the creation date or the last update date, and date and time, and then I'll cover this, and who is the owner of this file, and who is the group. I'll not cover this stuff. We can cover it some other time. This is the size of the file. So these sizes in bytes. So the time, the size, the date, and the owner and the group. So owner and group, owner is whoever, like in this case, I'm the owner. This is my computer, so I'm the owner. And then every user can be of a group. So there could be users which are administrators, there could be users which are normal users. So this is called a group. So there could be admin group. The member of that group will be the admin also. This one is also important one. I think you guys might know it, but I'm going to cover it for you guys. So the first character which you are seeing here, like in this case it is D, in this case it is dash. So D denotes here it is a directory. If it's a folder, it will be a D. If it is a file, it will be dash. Then there are like 3 levels of permissions. So this is permission, these 3 permissions, and there is another 3. So these are all read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. So the first 3 are for the owner, that what kind of permissions the owner of this file has or the directory has. Like he can read a file, he can write to a file, or he can execute that file. Execute is like you can run that program. And then the second set of permissions is for the group. Like if I am part of an admin group, does that group has, so everyone in that group, so I'm the owner, but everyone who's in that group will have that permission, like a read, write, and execute. Or if someone is a member of a staff, so what kind of permissions he has. The third level of the permissions is for everyone else. So someone who is not name officer and someone who is not part of a staff, if that is the case, what kind of permission he has? Can he read that file? Can he write that file? So all this kind of access can be controlled in Linux. And there are commands that you can do that. So if there are all, like in this case, all are, so if everyone has all the permissions, then that means he has 777. That's a bits. Basically, you can convert it into bits, which means there are all ones. So if I want to change, let's say I want to change this file and I want to give the permission to everyone to do a read, write, and execute. So what I'll do is I'll say change mod, and then I'll give what kind of permissions. I can say 777, and I can say this file. So this will change this file to have everything as 777. You guys see that? So all of them, all its permissions are, so everyone has permission to this file. I'm not going to go too much detail into it, but I just want you guys to get an idea that we can change the permissions on a file. That's how you do it. And it is covered a little bit later, but I thought I should cover it while I'm talking about that. So then we have, there's a more file name. So let's do a more. More actually just shows you the top of the file. More readme. So if you don't want to look at the whole thing, you just want to see what this file is about, it will just show you the top of the file. And if you want to see more, you click a space bar, it will keep showing you the rest of the file until it ends it. So again, you just say more readme.md, it will just show you the top of the file. Sometimes you don't want to look at the top of the file, you want to look at the bottom of the file. So for that you say tail read.md. So this was showing you the bottom of that file. I know these things are, you guys can learn also. I'm just covering it quickly so that you guys might be able to remember it a little bit better based on what we are talking about. We can also say clear to clear our screen. And if I do a tail again, you will notice that it is showing the end of the file. I'm going to do a clear again so that my screen is cleared. There are other things like a move a file name 1 to a file name 2. So let's say you want to rename a file, you will do a move in that case. So on Windows, all you do is a right click and rename it. Here, if you want to do it, you have to do a move. I'm not going to do anything here because I might break this project. I'll create a file. So normally the way to create a file is also you say touch file. So if I say touch file, it will create this file for me. You see that it created this file with the permissions which are like this. And you guys can play around that in your computer and figure that out. So it created this file. Now, if I want to change this file name from file to file 2, for example, so I say move file, and then I give what is the new file name. So I can say file to new file. So now if you look at it, it's the same file and it has new file instead of a file. So this is just to rename the file. Sometimes we need to copy the same file and put it in a different location. So for example, if I want to copy this new file, I can say CP instead of a copy, it is a CP, and then say new file, and then we give a target place where we want to copy it. We can copy it to a different location, and that could be maybe, let's say /temp. I want to copy this file to /temp. So this file will have a local copy here, and then it will also be on the temp as well. If we, so this file is now here because we have 2 copies of this file in this my current directory as well as under the TMP, because I just copied it to that location. You guys can play around with that. That's not that complicated. I want to get to some interesting ones. So then we have we have this WC. This is a word count. Okay, let me cover some more before I get. So there is RM. To remove a file, if I want to get rid of this file, I can say RM new file. Now this file is gone. So no more that file. So to delete a file, you say RM and then the file name. And these files are not recoverable. They don't go into the, unless there is some setup done, these files don't go into recycle. These files are gone once you do an RM. So careful. I have deleted my whole projects by mistake. So you guys want to make sure that don't do that. So then there is a way to create a directory, to create a folder. Like we looked at the creating a file, we can say creating a directory, mkdir. That will create a directory. So if I say mkdir test, it will create this test folder. And the way to know if it's a file or a folder is this first letter here on this axis. So it is created. If I want to see what is inside that directory, or if I want to enter in that directory, I will do a cd test. So cd test will take me to that directory. Then there is a command called pwd. This prints the current working directory. So it will show me where I am. So pwd is a current working directory. CD will take me into that directory. If I want to get out of this directory, you say cd ... That will get you out of this directory. Now if I say pwd, now it is showing me just my home directory. So am I going too fast, or are you guys okay? Are you guys with me, everyone? And some of you might have done this in the college. Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Afif, Sister Tanya, you guys are with us?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so so CD and mkdir, and then same thing. Let's say I go back into the test and then create a file, touch test file. So now I have a file inside the folder which is test. So if I want to see what is inside the test, I can while I'm here, I can get back or go back out of that directory. And if I want to see what is inside the test, I can even see it from here. I can say ls-l test or ls test. It will show me what is inside the test. I can, so if I say ls-l, it won't show me what is inside. It will just show me the test. But if I want to see what's inside, I can just always say ls-l and say test. It will show me what's inside the test also. Another thing you can do is, if you want to remove a directory, you can say rmdir. So like mkdir, there is an rmdir to do that. I'm not going to delete it because I want to teach you guys another command before I do the RM dial. So if I want to delete the whole tree, there is a directory called test, and within the test there is another folder and then another folder. Let's do that. So if I go to the test folder and say mkdir test2, and then I go inside the test2, and then I create another directory here, test3 or 4. And now if you look at, and I say cd test3, so we are, if I do a pwd now, we have in the home directory there is a name official, then there is a test2, test3, right? If I want to go one level up, I can do cd .. If I want to go one more level up, I can say again .. And if I want to go one further up, I can do cd .. again, and that will take me to my home directory. So that's the way to go back and forward inside the directories. I can keep going cd the directory name, or I can do a .. and it takes me to one level up. There was an easy way to get to my home directory. If you do a cd dash, it will take you to the previous directory. So if I do a cd dash, it will take me back to my test3, test2, test3. But if I want to get to my home directory, if I just do cd here, it will take me to my home directory. So what I'm saying is there are shortcuts. Like if I do a cd dash, it takes me to my previous directory where I was before this command. So even if you guys think about it, it looks like Linux or this terminal thing is way more complicated than the Windows, because there all you are doing is just clicking on the folders and you can get in, or you can go back and all that stuff. But this looks more complicated, but over time, and it has been proven that this is much more efficient because everything is in your hands. It's much faster rather than moving your mouse and dragging and doing all that kind of stuff. It's much easier to navigate if you have these things in your fingertips. So if I did, like I said, if I can say cd, it takes me to my home directory. I don't have to go one by one to my to go up. And then if I want to get rid of the whole tree, that there is, I want to delete test, test2, test3 all together, I can say rm. Rm is the delete command, like we covered earlier. Rm, and then say -rf. And then I say test. I'll explain what is rf. So rm, like I said, it's a remove or a delete. -r and f. -r means that you want to delete recursively. So if there is a directory inside that, you then recursively delete that. And then if there is another directory, you recursively delete that. -f is if you don't have the permission, or if you are not permission, if you are not the owner, it may give you it may give you a warning. But if you give a F flag with that, it will forcefully, as long as you have a permission, it will forcefully allows you to delete it. So if I say rm -rf test, everything is gone for test. There is no more test or test1 or test2 or test3. All right. So I think we covered pretty much this stuff. We covered mkdir, we covered cddir, we covered pwd. We haven't covered F. I think that is interesting. We want to cover grep. I want to cover. Okay, so some commands like these ones are also useful, and I'll get back to the grep stuff in a little while. So like the first command that if you are logging into a system, here it is showing me my user. But if it is not showing, I can say, who am I? And it gives me my user ID. Password is the command where you can use your password, you change your password. I'm skipping few commands on purpose, but I'll get back to those. And then there is a kill command. Kill command is the one which Asad, you could have used to kill the process. But in order to kill the process, you need to know which process is that. So the kill and the PS, they are very much related commands. So PS is the command which gives you the information about the process. So if I say PS, it shows me all the processes which are running. So if I say PS, and I know that I wanted to kill this process, so I want to say PS minus EF, and then I'm not going to cover this right now. I'm going to cover this after that I cover the graph. So first thing you find that which process is that. So let's say this is the process. So this is the process ID, and this is the terminal where it started. So whenever you open a terminal, it is assigned a terminal ID. So you see that there are some commands which you have typed within the Visual Studio Code. So these ones are identifying the Visual Studio Code. All these commands we have run in the Visual Studio Code. So that's why they have a certain terminal ID. And then this is the process. If for me, if I want to kill that process because that window I closed by mistake, I can go and kill this process ID, and I can say kill -9 and this process, which is 37261. 37261. So now if I go back to 37261, right? Yeah. So if I go back to my terminal, to my Visual Studio Code, you guys see that it says its process is being killed. It has been killed already. So this is how you get rid of the process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, is it possible if I can still do that right now? Because well, I did PS and then I see one thing running. It has like a PID and everything, but I'm not sure if this is the website.
Okay, so we can take a look at it later. Let me finish that off. Yeah. Okay. So kill you already know.
Brother,
So
what does this 9 stands for?
this is just so basically this is there is a soft kill option and there is a hard kill option. -9 is the one which is always used. So they start from 1 to 9. So this is basically means that you want to forcefully kill this process. So normally when you try to kill the process on a Windows side also, you attempt it first, and then it asks you a warning that okay, it's not able to kill you. Want to forcefully end the process. That's what this 9 means.
Okay.
9 is like the highest level of force.
Forcefully kill it. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So the other command which I want to go over is the grep. Grep is also a very useful command, and it's used a lot. So for example, if I want to, so the grep is the find on the Linux side. So like if you want to see what is, let's see if I have a file which I can take a look. Let me do a PSC. Okay, let's go to masjid. Dash MHMA. Is there anything here? No. Okay, yeah, here we can take a look at some file. And let's say if we want to search a string, let's try to search MHMA. I want to see which files have MHMA, which has MHMA in there. So I'll say grep and say MHMA, the string. And then I can say either, if I want to search from a specific file, I can say package.json. And it will, okay, this does not have MHMA. So we can say, let's search npm from that, because we know that will exist in there in some fashion. Grep npm, so it will grep and will show the line also where we have this npm string in there. So that's what the grep is used for. If you want to search from all files, you can say grep npm star. So it will search from all files. So if you guys notice that it says grep client is a directory client, so you cannot grep. So sometimes you have to grep within the directories also. So let's say you want to grep npm from everywhere under this folder. You can always say grep. I'm not going to do npm because there will be too many. I'm going to try MHMA again. MHMA, oh, -r. So you say recursively again, grep -r, MHMA, and then I say star. So now it will go through the whole structure and find wherever the MHMA is present, and it is going to go for get us that. And I'm going to kill it because I know that it will take a while. So another option is sometimes you don't know that, oh, maybe you have a capital M, or maybe so you can also say -i. So you can say I -ir, and then it will search without ignoring the case. Sorry, with ignoring the case. So it will not care about if it's a capital or a small. It will go and search if you add -i to that. So these are just the flags. So this flag is telling that ignore the case and recursively search for it. How are we doing so far? We good?
Yep.
All right. So I already shared this with you guys, and I would like you guys to go through this page. This is from somewhere from the Stanford. So someone did a good job of collecting these comments. And again, by this, whatever I have covered, by no means this is all the commands. And I just share, I'm just trying to cover what is I use most commonly every day. So like ls, move, more, grab, and yeah, so change mode, or we'll cover vi maybe in some following class, but the other stuff I think we covered most of the basic stuff, and we can continue on this one maybe next week also if we have if you guys have more questions. But I would like you guys to go through this page and see if you guys have any questions, or if there's any specific command you want more information. And I want to finish it because I already gone over 15 minutes. Even I said that I should finish it in time. We'll try to do that from the next. Let's make it our goal that we try to cover these sessions within time. Any questions anyone has before we end?
Yeah, just out of curiosity,
Go ahead.
when you do ls minus LTR, what is the at and the x's at the end of the permissions?
Let's see. Let's do that. You said ls minus LTR. So
I think in your home directory. So
right.
yeah, right there. The ats and x's, the ats and pluses. Sorry, not the x's. Yeah.
Oh, this at and plus. I don't know. I have to look at it.
Okay.
Well, this is probably I have not seen before, so I'll take a look and get
All right. All right.
All right. So anyone else has any question?
Yeah, brother Naeem, one question is like how the other students they are sharing if they are working in a group, so how they are sharing their code together. So on the GitHub, like if I have pushed my code in a GitHub, and Afif, if Afif or Asad want to work and add their work into it, so what is the best way to go, either to create a branch locally, or how should we approach that?
Yeah, I think we want to bring Brother Athar on that again. But again, I'll say that they should clone your repository, the one which is your fork. So you checked into the fork which is under your user, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they can make
a clone from your fork,
okay,
and then work on that and add whatever they want to add there.
but they cannot push it into mine because it
They,
then
they should work with you. They should work with you to push their changes into yours, because we don't want to create too many branches. The problem would be then it would be difficult for us to integrate. But I'll try to get Athar Bhai. Maybe I'll ask this question him directly. He asked us to go off and create our own branches out of it. But the problem is if the one option is that you merge your changes into the main. And then they can create their fork on that. So that's another option. Do you think you can do that? I think you can do that because your changes are not impacting anyone else. The activities page is totally separate, right? So I think you should try to go ahead and push
some of the work on the server side, so that I don't know. I mean, it will cause
I
any.
think that's server-side code is only server.js, and then under the routes, you are creating your own routes. So I
Yes.
think that should not impact anyone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, let's try to do that. And I'll try to get hold of Brother Athar during the week and see if we can solve this problem.
So how about like if like because I have created a fork from your project, and I mean the Asad and Afif, if they create me as my origin as a remote of their like project, and they clone it, and then they can like somehow they work on their branch, and finally when they merge their branch with my my main branch, so and then we can push that finally into your project. So this
Yeah,
is
so they can continue to work on their local environment. They can commit their changes, but they will not push the changes into yours. So that's another option. This is always there, right? They can clone from your repository, from your
yeah.
and then they can continue to work on it. And when you guys are ready, you guys can meet and then discuss that if you want to allow them to push that into your repository. That's always the option.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think we should now try to integrate this code. It's been a long time now.
Yeah, and it is easier because like right now, Afif and me, we are actually at the same home, so it's not a problem. We sometimes, he just sends me the whatever he has done, he emails me, and then I, incorporate it into mine. But like if Asad is working, so this will not work very well as a solution. Like how we will merge this thing
I
with.
think, let me talk to Athar Bhai, and I'll get back to you maybe in a day or two.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Allah Hafiz. Thank you, guys.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.